Hey everyone, Vince here, Sabre BJJ Luu and
Drea, Sabre BJJ Brown Belt.
And I have a question for you today, Drea. What are the benefits of cross-training, as in going to other gyms to train?
Let's see. Our gym, I would say, is very fortunate, first of all, to have places to cross-train too. We have multiple affiliates in our network. So we have different gyms to choose from. I guess I should say that's not always the case. Some gyms, they don't really allow you to cross-train. You know, it just depends on your instructor, the black belt that you're under, the owner over your gym. Not everybody allows you to cross-train. But if you're fortunate to be in a gym that is more open-minded and allows you to visit other gyms, there are a ton of benefits. And one of the main ones that I can think of is the fact that you get to train with other people, other types of bodies, people that have different moves and different type of jiu-jitsu other than you and the people in your gym. Because when you're in your gym and you train a lot, you will, hopefully you do train with everyone, but some people only stick to a few people here and there that they train with, and so each of you get used to your game on it, against each other. So like, if we trained all the time and you hit one thing on me and I hit one thing on you, the next time we roll, we're going to be mindful of that. So that tends to build up, and you start to defend against the type of game that your teammates are throwing at you. So when you cross-train, you get to roll with people that are doing different things, so your jiu-jitsu stays fresh, your defense is fresh, the way you move, it will always like evolve, and you're not doing the same things all the time. So you get to just have fresh bodies too. If your gym is smaller, for example, you might be training with the same 10 people, 20 people, you go to another gym, even if that was smaller gym, at least you get another 10 or 20 people to train with. So there's a lot of benefits. Another one I'd say is the instruction. Every gym, like when I think about our affiliation, like every instructor has something to offer. Everyone has different strengths, so you get to go to that gym and visit and be taught what they're really good at, and so you can add that into your arsenal and into your own jiu-jitsu game. So there's a lot to learn from other black belts and other people, and if you get the chance to visit, I would definitely do that and get the chance to cross-train. When you were saying cross-training, were you just saying in general, or like...
Yeah, just like cross-training, going to other gyms and training there. I know for me personally, I've cross-trained only a few times here in Concord, but I primarily stay at Sabre when I am training, just because it's so close to my house.
Right.
And for me, it's more of a hobby, so I just usually come here because I feel like I get everything that I need here, but I also do like to cross-train every now and then just at other gyms, so that I can learn from different instructors, because each instructor can teach you just something different.
Yeah, or even the way that they do their arm bars or their their technique. Like there's always those little tweaks, so you get to just pick up more. And also I think another thing for an underbelt visiting like another gym too, like if you are friends with that affiliation or people there, the black belt, they can watch you train, and then they have like good critique for you as well, so that also helps you get better, versus your same black belt, like will critique you of course, but or maybe they're busy with their gym, you go to another gym, they always pay attention to the visitor, so they'll probably help you out, especially if you ask. So that's always helpful. Cross-training is great. I mean, if you are a part of a gym that has affiliations within like the area, like our gym has affiliations within the city surrounding, it's convenient just for like time. Even if you're on the way home from work and there's traffic and you're going to be late for one class that's a little further, like your main gym, but there's one of the gyms is kind of closer, and on the way you can go to that one and not miss a class. And that's what I used to do. I used to get stuck in traffic, so I planned my days around like when I was on the road, and so I would go to one gym because I knew I couldn't make it to over here. So we used to have one in Benicia, so I would go there. So it's convenient in a lot of ways if you take advantage of it. I think a lot of people don't. If you have affiliations in your circle of gyms, you should definitely cross-train. Even weekly, if you want to cross-train throughout the week, there's benefits to that for sure. And open mats are another one. Like there's more times to train. So
I would say, and then for me, like it's not that I'm afraid to cross-train, because I do like cross-training, but I'm always a little hesitant, especially if I'm going by myself, right? Because even though they're an affiliate of ours, I've never really been there.
Right.
So for me, what makes it a little bit easier, and the couple times I have cross-trained, I've went with somebody else that constantly cross-trains at the gym. So if I were to go to one of our affiliates, I'd probably be like, hey, Drea, when are you going? Let me go with you. So maybe you can make sure no one beats me up too bad, or like, hey, take it easy on events, right? So so that's, for me, it makes it a little bit easier, just so that they can be like, hey, because you'll know people at the gym, and then you can do like some introductions, because it's always a little scary for me to walk into like a newer gym and be like, okay, like who's going to try to kill me? Because for me, I'm really there just to hang out, have fun, meet people, more for the community aspect of it, and that's also something else too. It's another community.
Yeah, totally. I think that with cross training and going beyond even like in the Bay Area, if you go to open mats, that's a type of cross training. You'll go to open mat and it's across the bay, another hour away from here. You'll meet people and you'll end up becoming friends, and it just expands like your circle and your networking within the jiu-jitsu community, and that leads into the future. Like if you keep training, like these people become your friends, and when you're at tournaments and you go out of state and you don't know anyone and you see a friendly face, you're like, hey, and you end up becoming friends, and it's just great to have that, to not be a stranger everywhere that you go. So another type of cross training would be going to open mats at different gyms. And for example, like there are open mats throughout the Bay Area, and it could be 30 minutes, an hour away, but you meet a whole nother community of people, because all of these different people that train jiu-jitsu, they're all going into this time to have an open mat session of just training. And what's great about that is you get to know more people in your jiu-jitsu area and community. And when you go out and compete, sometimes it's in another state or another city or like wherever it is, and you're by yourself, you see like a friendly face in a tournament, and it's great. I mean, it's just nice to be able to know people and to build friendships with others. And I think, as I see Bri and some of the other people that are black belts, they know so many people from their past, because you would see literally like almost the same community throughout the years of like competition and gyms, and so it just builds your network up, as you grow and continue in the sport, which I think is pretty cool. And when it comes to like competitions, like you sometimes compete against someone you might know, but it's still cool that you can say, man, we competed at blue, purple, brown, now black belt. So that's pretty awesome to me. Yeah.
And what does your cross-training schedule look like, and what would you advise, like whether if you're at a gym with affiliates, how often should you go to the affiliates? Or maybe let's say you're at a gym but you want to train at another gym that's not an affiliate. I mean, what does your cross-training schedule look like, and what would you advise to everyone out there?
It really is, case to case. I'd say that if you have affiliates that you can cross-train at, you should definitely do it monthly, if not maybe once a week. But if you don't, then that's okay, or if your gym doesn't allow it. But because we have that opportunity, I would say if you have the opportunity, take advantage of it. I have my own set schedule, so I kind of have it split up between mainly two gyms. So I'll train usually here at noon and train somewhere else at night in one of our affiliates, and it just works for my schedule, and it also works for the people I'm training with. Like at night, here at noon, we have a certain group that comes out, and we do more comp rounds here than in the evening. It just happens to be that way, where a lot of people that come at noon there are more upper belts, there are more people that compete, and then in the evening it's mainly like more white belts, more blue belts, and a few sprinkles of upper belts, and that's just how it is. That's not bad at all, actually. It's great. But in the evening, for me, I just go to the affiliate. It's just convenient for my schedule, and it's nice to learn from other people as well. So I try to split it up, and that's weekly. But not everybody does that. So yeah.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because for me, when things were normal, not necessarily cross-training because it's still at this gym, but I would go to 6 a.m. and then 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. and then noon, because it's two different
groups of people.
And then just as you said, like the PM classes tend to be more white belts and blue belts, so there I could maybe practice my moves a little bit more, but the 6 a.m. and the noon, it's always me getting smashed, right?
Exactly.
So I'm always the nail there, but it's always a good contrast to have those.
Sure.
So not necessarily cross training, but just training at different times at the same gym, because it's a different group of people. So a lot of the 6 a.m. might not know the 6 p.m.
Right.
just because they don't train at that time. Right? So.
And someone like yourself is very fortunate to have that open schedule to be able to train more than once. And if you notice, like, people come in at the same times because their schedule is so set. So if you have the opportunity, like, yeah, definitely cross train, or I mean, train more than once in your own gym, and you already then and there have different bodies and people to roll with.
So we finished that last clip, but then we realized that we wanted to add a little bit more. So here we are adding a little more.
All right. We were talking about cross training, right?
Correct.
I think one thing we forgot to mention is that when you cross train at another gym, just make sure that you're loyal to the gym that you actually belong to and to your head instructor, the gym that you're paying, to really show support that this is the gym that I train at. I think a lot of times people maybe not knowingly cross train a little too much, or it seems like they do, and that can become a problem because if you're always at a different gym, sometimes it can be close by or not. It can be an affiliate. It can be visiting gyms, while you're on the road through work or whatever. Just be careful to know that, your main gym should be your main gym, and that you should show that loyalty, I think, to the black belt that you signed up under, or the gym that you signed up under. I think it's just important. It's like an old school dojo mentality, but when you think about it outside of jiu-jitsu, it's just loyalty. It's just being loyal to who you have placed yourself under, and to trust that person to teach you and to even help you in just all areas, really, including jiu-jitsu. So
right. So and for those of you, maybe we should have brought this a little bit earlier, but how affiliates work is you have your main gym and then you have your affiliate gyms. So there's the main gym and then everyone that's connected, but if you have one membership to one of the gyms, you can go to the other affiliates, right? Yeah. So when Drea is talking about being loyal to your main gym, because you're paying dues to one person,
right,
but then you have access to all the other gyms or the affiliates.
Right.
So that's why it's important to not over cross train, because if you over cross train, like let's say you're cross training not at your home gym 5 days a week, and then you go to your main gym that you're paying dues once a week. Mm-hmm. It's kind of unfair to the instructor or the owner of where you're cross training at, right? Because you're not paying dues to that. And then again, you signed up under that professor, the main professor, where you're paying dues at. So being loyal to that professor.
And it's an easy fix. If you find that you want to be at a different gym, hopefully you can talk to your instructor and let them know, like, it may be more convenient for you or whatever the reason. But I think it's also unfair for the gym that you signed up under, because they're expecting you to be their student. So if you're not present, then technically you're not really their student. Does that make sense? Right. I mean, wouldn't you agree, I should say?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, as you just said, if you find yourself going to an affiliate more than your main gym, then what you can do is, work something out, because, if they're an affiliate, that means that the owners have a relationship, and they're likely have a good relationship. So you can say, hey, can I pay dues, half dues here, or something like that.
Totally.
You're going to be able to work something out, because both teachers want you as your student, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
so
and everyone's an adult, right? So we should be able to just kind of voice what we want to do and just communicate.
Right.
So
communication is the key.
Yeah, we'll have to do another video about not warning, but like what to expect when signing up under a jiu-jitsu gym.
That's right.
Yeah.
That video is coming soon. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed that video.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
Thank you.